Well, I'm down here at my car wash and it is time to do the last collect of the month so I can tally up the revenue and the expenses and see how good my cash flow is going to be. It's been a pretty decent month. I've had a lot less expenses due to the homeless vandalizing things. However, one of them did decide to leave me a parting gift in one of the automatic bays that I'm renovating. Absolutely disgusting. Don't ever let anyone tell you that owning a cash business is passive. A giant pile of that I'm gonna have to clean up, unfortunately. I've had to spend a ton of money on this bay just trying to enclose it and block it off in order for the homeless not to get access to it and be able to come in here and do stuff like this. But the good news is I've almost got it closed in and ready for doors to go on, which is the last step for me to be able to keep them out. But all that aside, let's collect some cash, collect some coin, and see how well we did for the month. Right, this is the last bay, so let's see how well it did. Normally this is a decent indicator of how the rest of them are gonna go. Not too bad. This bay doesn't get used a whole bunch, so. This is a decent one right here. This is about 8 days worth. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Thank you. So I got some fans while I'm making another video. All right, so this bay gets used the most. So this one should be pretty full, and it's actually not, so. Hopefully the cash makes up for it. That's decent. Not bad, but not the best. Decent. And these ones are just coin, so no cash. Oh yeah. This one's definitely a two-hander. Holy smokes. Holy crap. Guess that explains why the other one wasn't so full. They all came to this one. Nice. Very nice. Not as heavy as I'd like it to be, but can't complain. Or I guess I can complain. I can do what I want. Oh yeah, this one's plumb full also. Still got 2 left, and this thing is full. Oh yeah. This one's damn good too. Oh, yeah. I almost need 2 hands to lift that. This thing is the fullest I've ever had it. Oh. Okay, so now that I've got the cash and the coin collected from the base, it's time to separate the tokens from the quarters so I can get a good count on the quarters. I'm gonna go ahead and skip over separating the tokens and the quarters. Okay, so now that I've got the tokens separated, I've got 1 gallon jug full of quarters and 2 Cafe du Monde canisters full. Let's go ahead and count these up. $3,016 quarters divided by 4, $754 from the base. Let's go ahead and get the cash from my token dispensers. That's all the way empty. And this guy is the heaviest I've ever felt it. Holy crap. Holy smokes. It's a little bit more full than last week. Holy crap. Holy smokes. Look at this bad boy. Look at that bad boy. That might be the fullest I've ever seen this outside of wintertime. Okay. So, now one more collect is the automatic. I'm gonna go ahead and get that cash, add this to the total, take it back to my office, count it up. Really don't get a lot of use out of this automatic right now, so a lot of these are 5s, 10s, and 20s though. Okay, so that is about 8 days worth of cash. One last thing, almost forgot the vacuum's gonna collect that real quick, then we'll take this all back, count up all the cash, and see what our totals are for the month, add up our expenses, get the cash flow. Really not a lot there. A couple of these vacuums were down for about a week or two. So they might be a little light. Ooh, not that one. I believe this is one of the ones that was down. Maybe not. And this fragrance vac is actually my best performing. It just has really good suction. People like to use it. Look at that. Pretty good haul for 2 weeks. Not too bad. These are probably my least performing vacuums, probably simply because they're just not in direct line with all the other, with the bays. So when people pull it out of the wash, they pull into the other ones. The last one here. Yeah, not too good. This is the one on the very end, so no one really goes to this one. So now that I have the coin collected from the vacuums, I have to separate out the tokens from the quarters, and then I will get a good count of how much revenue was from the vacuums specifically. So $461 in tokens. Now I'm going to start counting the quarters. $1,409. 1409 divided by 4, $352.25. Honestly, not really that great considering it was for 2 weeks plus the tokens. That's $700-800. So not that great on the vacuums. So I'm back in my office. Let's count up all the cash minus the expenses, and then we'll see what I did for the month of September on cash flow. Rocking and rolling. $3,101. So the bills that were rejected from the cash counter total up $42. So that brings the cash total to $3,143. That total, plus the coin from the bays and the coin from the vacuums, and all of the previous counts for the previous videos I've done for the month, totals $15,561.25. Now I've got to add the totals for the credit for the bays and the credit for the automatic to get my monthly total. Last month's totals for the credit cards in the bays was $6,509.90. And last month's total for the credit cards in the automatic was $1,944, bringing my grand total for the month to $24,015.50. Not too shabby. So as you can see here, my grand total for revenue was $24,015.15, and these are all my expenses. Pretty much the only two that are really going to change are going to be the repairs and the utilities. The repairs were pretty high this month because I had a lot of theft and vandalism issues I had to take care of at the beginning of the month, but also due to me just taking care of things that I wanted to get done around the wash. There are some expenses that aren't even tallied into this, like that brickwork I got done to keep the homeless out of that bay. That won't even be added into this month's expenses. That will be next month's expenses. And I know that was about $4,000. So this is pretty low considering all the things that I had done in the month that I wasn't billed for yet. And my utilities, which a lot of people probably would consider really cheap, were $1,415.57. Water is usually around $1,000. This last month, it was $800. Don't know why. This month is pretty busy. I'm not going to complain. But that brings all of my expenses to a total of $7,570.16, which means my net operating income was $16,444.99. My mortgage for this property is $3,626.49, which means my total cash flow was $12,818.50, which isn't too bad. It could have been better. I probably spent money on things I didn't need to, but that's just how it goes when you own a business. Hopefully you watching these videos will make you realize that cash businesses aren't really that passive. I know I don't really delve too much into that stuff because catchy videos are ones about money, unfortunately. If you've got any questions about cash businesses like car washes or real estate investing, drop in the comments down below or hit me up on IG. Thanks for watching. Till next time.